Ground fault circuit interrupters, or GFCIs, are safety devices that protect against electrical shocks by detecting imbalances in current flowing through a circuit. In 2018, OSHA updated its standards for GFCI protection in construction and other workplaces under 29 Code of Federal Regulations 1926.404. These standards require the use of GFCIs on all extension cords used in wet or damp locations. This includes outdoor areas, bathrooms, kitchens, and construction sites. One key change is that GFCIs must be used on all extension cords, regardless of length or location, if they are used in wet or damp locations. Only replacement GFCIs that are compatible with the extension cords they are being used with should be installed. GFCIs cannot be used on pigtails, which are short, flexible cords that connect a fixed device to an extension cord. There are two main types of GFCI protectors for extension cords. Firstly, there are receptacle-type GFCIs. These devices fit into a standard outlet and have one or more outlets that are protected by the GFCI. Secondly, there are inline GFCIs. These devices are built into the extension cord itself and provide GFCI protection for the entire cord. Employers are responsible for ensuring that all extension cords used in wet or damp locations are equipped with GFCIs. Failure to comply with these standards could result in citations and fines. GFCIs should be tested regularly to ensure they are functioning properly. If a GFCI trips frequently, it may indicate a problem with the circuit or the equipment connected to it. GFCIs are not intended to replace other safety measures such as proper grounding and insulation. Extension cords used with portable electric tools and appliances present unique hazards on construction sites. Because extension cords are easily damaged, readily moved from place to place, and often exposed to harsh conditions, workers are particularly vulnerable to electric shock when using them. A ground fault circuit interrupter is a fast-acting circuit breaker designed to shut off electric power in the event of a ground fault. GFCIs are used to reduce the risk of electric shock. OSHA requires employers to use either ground fault circuit interrupters for personnel protection or an assured equipment grounding conductor program on construction sites. This requirement applies to all 120-volt, single-phase, 15 and 20 ampere receptacle outlets that are not part of the permanent wiring of the building or structure and which are in use by employees. GFCI protection can be provided through several means, including GFCI circuit breakers, GFCI receptacles, and portable GFCI units. GFCI circuit breakers are installed in the panel board and protect the entire branch circuit. GFCI receptacles replace standard receptacles and provide protection at that specific location. Portable GFCI units can be plugged into standard outlets and provide protection for equipment connected to them. An assured equipment grounding conductor program is an alternative to GFCI protection. This program requires employers to implement and maintain a written program that ensures all equipment grounding conductors are properly installed and maintained. The program must include regular inspections and tests of equipment grounding conductors, as well as training for employees on the proper use and maintenance of equipment grounding systems. OSHA's electrical standards are designed to protect employees from electrical hazards. By understanding and complying with these standards, employers can create a safer work environment for their employees. The requirements for GFCI protection on construction sites are detailed in OSHA Standard 29 Code of Federal Regulations 1926.404. This standard specifies the situations in which GFCI protection is required or an assured equipment grounding conductor program must be implemented. When using extension cords, always inspect them for damage before each use. Look for cuts, frayed insulation, and damaged plugs. If you find any damage, do not use the cord. Replace it with a new one. Do not overload extension cords. Overloading can cause the cord to overheat and potentially start a fire. Use the correct size extension cord for the equipment you are using. The cord should be rated to handle the amperage of the equipment. Avoid using extension cords in wet or damp locations unless they are specifically designed for that purpose. If you must use an extension cord in a wet or damp location, use a GFCI protected cord. Keep extension cords out of walkways and areas where they could be tripped over. Do not run extension cords through doorways or windows where they could be pinched or damaged. When disconnecting an extension cord, always pull on the plug, not the cord itself. Pulling on the cord can damage the wires inside. Store extension cords properly when they are not in use. Coil them neatly and store them in a dry place. By following these safety tips, you can reduce the risk of electrical shock and fire when using extension cords on construction sites. OSHA's regulations regarding GFCI protection are crucial for ensuring workplace safety. The implementation of GFCIs in wet or damp locations significantly reduces the risk of electrical shock to workers. Understanding the types of GFCI protectors available, such as receptacle type and inline GFCIs, helps employers choose the appropriate protection for their specific needs. Regular testing of GFCIs is essential to confirm their proper function and ensure continuous protection. Employers must stay informed of updates to OSHA standards and adhere to the latest requirements to avoid penalties and, more importantly, protect their employees from potential harm. The use of GFCI should be part of a comprehensive electrical safety program that includes proper grounding, insulation, and regular inspections. By prioritizing electrical safety, employers can create a safer and more productive work environment. OSHA also provides numerous resources and training materials to assist employers in understanding and complying with electrical safety standards. These resources can be found on the OSHA website and through various safety organizations. Staying informed and proactive in implementing safety measures is key to preventing electrical accidents in the workplace. Remember that GFCIs are designed to protect people from dangerous electrical shocks. They work by monitoring the current flowing in a circuit and quickly shutting off the power if a ground fault is detected. This can prevent serious injury or even death. It is important to use GFCIs properly and to test them regularly to ensure they are working correctly. If a GFCI trips frequently, it could indicate a problem with the electrical system or the equipment being used. In such cases, it is essential to have the system inspected by a qualified electrician to identify and correct the issue. Ignoring frequent GFCI trips can lead to more serious problems and increase the risk of electrical shock. Always prioritize safety when working with electricity and follow all applicable OSHA regulations. By doing so, you can help create a safer workplace for yourself and your colleagues. The information provided here is intended for general guidance only and should not be considered a substitute for professional advice. Always consult with a qualified electrician or safety professional for specific guidance on electrical safety in your workplace. In addition to GFCIs, there are other safety measures that can be taken to reduce the risk of electrical shock. These include using insulated tools, wearing appropriate personal protective equipment, and following lockout/tagout procedures when working on electrical equipment. Insulated tools are designed to protect workers from electrical shock by providing a barrier between the worker and the energized equipment. Personal protective equipment, such as gloves and safety glasses, can also help to reduce the risk of injury. Lockout/tagout procedures are used to ensure that electrical equipment is de-energized before work is performed on it. These procedures involve disconnecting the equipment from its power source and attaching a lock and tag to the disconnect switch to prevent it from being accidentally re-energized. By using a combination of safety measures, employers can create a comprehensive electrical safety program that protects workers from the hazards of electricity. OSHA's electrical standards are constantly evolving to reflect new technologies and best practices. It is important for employers to stay up to date on the latest regulations and to implement changes as necessary. This can be achieved by regularly reviewing OSHA publications, attending safety training courses, and consulting with safety professionals. By continuously improving their electrical safety programs, employers can create a culture of safety in a workplace and reduce the risk of electrical accidents. Remember that safety is everyone's responsibility. By working together, employers and employees can create a safer and more productive work environment. It is important to understand that GFCIs do not protect against overloads or short circuits. They are specifically designed to detect ground faults, which occur when current leaks from a circuit to ground. Overloads and short circuits can be prevented by using the correct size circuit breakers and fuses. Circuit breakers and fuses are designed to interrupt the flow of current when it exceeds a certain level. This prevents the wires in the circuit from overheating and potentially causing a fire. It is important to use the correct size circuit breakers and fuses for the circuits they are protecting. Using undersized circuit breakers or fuses can result in nuisance tripping, while using oversized circuit breakers or fuses can allow the wires to overheat and potentially cause a fire. Regular inspection of electrical equipment is essential for identifying potential hazards. This includes checking for damaged cords, loose connections, and signs of overheating. Any damaged equipment should be repaired or replaced immediately. It is also important to keep electrical equipment clean and dry. Dust and moisture can accumulate on electrical equipment and create a fire hazard. By performing regular inspections and maintenance, employers can prevent electrical accidents and ensure the safety of their employees. OSHA provides specific guidelines for the safe use of extension cords. These guidelines include using the correct size cord for the equipment being used, avoiding the use of extension cords in wet or damp locations, and inspecting cords for damage before each use. It is also important to avoid overloading extension cords, as this can cause them to overheat and potentially start a fire. When using extension cords, it is best to plug them directly into a wall outlet. Avoid plugging extension cords into other extension cords, as this can create a daisy chain that is more likely to overload. By following OSHA's guidelines for the safe use of extension cords, employers can reduce the risk of electrical accidents in the workplace. The use of temporary electrical power is common on construction sites and in other temporary work environments. It is important to ensure that temporary electrical power is installed and used safely. This includes using GFCI protection, grounding all equipment, and inspecting the system regularly. Temporary electrical power systems should be installed by qualified electricians and should comply with all applicable OSHA regulations. By following these guidelines, employers can ensure that temporary electrical power is used safely and effectively. Electrical safety training is essential for all employees who work with or around electricity. This training should cover topics such as electrical hazards, safe work practices, and the use of personal protective equipment. Employees should also be trained on how to inspect electrical equipment and how to respond to electrical emergencies. By providing comprehensive electrical safety training, employers can empower their employees to work safely and prevent electrical accidents. OSHA offers a variety of resources to help employers develop and implement effective electrical safety training programs. These resources include training materials, sample programs, and online courses. By taking advantage of these resources, employers can ensure that their employees receive the training they need to work safely around electricity. In addition to OSHA regulations, there are also national electrical codes that provide guidance on electrical safety. These codes are developed by organizations such as the National Fire Protection Association and the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers. It is important for employers to be familiar with the applicable national electrical codes and to comply with their requirements. The national electrical codes are constantly updated to reflect new technologies and best practices. It is important for employers to stay up to date on the latest codes and to implement changes as necessary. By following the national electrical codes, employers can create a safer electrical environment for their employees. Electrical safety is an ongoing process that requires continuous attention and improvement. By staying informed, providing training, and implementing effective safety measures, employers can create a workplace where employees are protected from the hazards of electricity. Remember that electrical accidents can be prevented. By working together, employers and employees can create a safer and more productive work environment. The key to preventing electrical accidents is to identify potential hazards and to take steps to eliminate or control them. This requires a proactive approach to safety that includes regular inspections, maintenance, and training. Employers should also encourage employees to report any electrical hazards they identify. By creating a culture of safety, employers can empower their employees to take ownership of their own safety and to contribute to a safer workplace. Electrical safety is not just a matter of compliance with regulations. It is a matter of protecting human lives. By prioritizing electrical safety, employers can demonstrate their commitment to the well-being of their employees and create a more positive and productive work environment. The information provided here is intended for general guidance only and should not be considered a substitute for professional advice. Always consult with a qualified electrician or safety professional for specific guidance on electrical safety in your workplace. Always follow all safety precautions to help prevent accidents. It is also important to perform regular maintenance on all electrical equipment, including extension cords, to ensure that they are in good working order. This includes checking for frayed wires, loose connections, and other signs of damage. Damaged equipment should be repaired or replaced immediately. In addition to the safety measures mentioned above, it is also important to be aware of the potential for arc flash. Arc flash is a dangerous electrical explosion that can occur when there is a short circuit in the air. Arc flash can cause serious burns, blindness, and even death. To protect against arc flash, workers should wear appropriate personal protective equipment, such as arc-rated clothing and face shields. They should also follow safe work practices, such as de-energizing equipment before working on it. By taking these precautions, workers can reduce the risk of arc flash and protect themselves from serious injury.